this fight that's upcoming October 14th in Davenport, Iowa, against former CM Punk opponent Mike the Truth Jackson. This is a fully sanctioned event under the Aggression grudge match promotion, your promotion, I understand. Can we ask what, I know you fought in single discipline since then, such as kickboxing, but what was the rationale that you decided to step back in to the MMA arena, so to speak, after not doing so since 2008?
Well, Mike Jackson and I were friends. I cornered him actually in that fight against CM Punk. And when all the riots started in 2020 and all of the craziness, Mike Jackson started taking a very extreme stance on race and saying some pretty harsh things about people who just had different skin pigments. And I kind of, questioned him, that this really wasn't in his character that I had noticed before, and why he was reacting this way, and that I didn't agree. While the groups that he was supporting had legitimate concerns, burning your neighbor's businesses is obviously not the solution, and he took exception to that as well. And then when I went to Washington D.C. and just stood there, I didn't do anything illegal, anything like that, and decided to write an article about me. And the headline that he wrote on it was "Pat Miletich supports domestic terrorism and white supremacy," and ultimately cost me a broadcasting job. And I mean, it was an attempt at character assassination and financial attack on me. And so I don't understand that way of thinking, that anybody would try to do or do that. Wake up in the morning and intend to destroy another human being's life just because you have differences in opinion. But it affected me pretty severely. And I told him that, I would like to have a closer discussion with him because of what he'd done. And he basically said that he would walk the dog with my old ass. And I said, well, then we should probably make a date. And his thinking, he's in his 30s, that fighting a guy in his 50s is going to be pretty easy, whatever his thinking is.
Do you think Jackson was purposely creating attention to get a high-profile fight with a UFC legend that he probably wouldn't get otherwise?
No, I don't. I really don't. I don't think that was it at all. I think that he through the emotional programming that the media has been using, I think that he bit on it lock, stock, and barrel, and that decided that anyone who disagreed with him was, a white supremacist or a Nazi or whatever. He called Jake Shields a Nazi, and that's, I think, his programming. And a lot of people have been programmed to think a certain way, and that's sad, and it's unfortunate because it's dividing the nation, and it's costing us more than I think people recognize at this point. So I think he was just being himself at that point. He had been programmed and he was running with it.
What is your strategy going to be in terms of this fight that will give the fans the details and how to order, etc., prior to wrapping up? But there's got to be a huge degree of personal animosity and hostility there. Again, Jackson has raised the fact that you're in your 50s, but have tremendous cardio. I understand your training camp has been phenomenal. What will be your strategy moving into that fight to separate that clear, as I said, personal animosity from what you need to do to defeat this man?
Well, I mean, if I was in my 20s, 30s, or 40s, the fight wouldn't even be considered, obviously. But I think I can win the fight any way that I want.
Are you approaching this given the fact that again you suffered financial losses, career related losses. Does this influence the way that you're going to approach it in any way at all, or is it another day in the office for a Hall of Famer?
Well, I mean, look, it obviously did cost me financially. It was a considerable impact on my life and more so my children's lives, obviously. But, I've lost the animosity. I've lost the anger, quite a while back. It's more about the cause that people just simply have to stand up for themselves at some point.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video